Welcome to this episode of Chatting with Staxx. I'm your host, Bill Staxx, and today I got Al Garcia and Fabian Al.
No lie. Like taxi cabs, gangsters popping out. You could just see the black gun coming out the taxi cab and shooting up guys standing there. I would come out of school. I came out of school about school ended like what, 3 o'clock. And 3:15, you're gone, you're out of there. By the time I got home, I walk home now. I walk from Belmont, Belmont High School all the way to 3rd and Kenmore. It's a little bit past Vermont. And my whole block was, I couldn't even get home until like 8 o'clock at night because the yellow tape and all that crap. Like it was always something. And this is a true story too. You know him too, Joey Suriel. Joey, I just got off the phone with Joey. He's another pro skateboarder that grew up in the neighborhood. A little bit younger than me. Grew up down the block. Actually started skating because of me and another friend. But we took him in like family, because he was a good kid and he wanted to skate and he was, you're down for your shit. You hang out with us and like, you got my back, I got yours, So I don't want nobody that's going to be a weak link, man, So I used to weed them out. Like me personally, when I was younger, I was that fool to go and weed them out. Like, hey, you know what? You don't belong here. Or like, I'll make sure of that because I when something comes down, I got your back 100,000%. And I need to know that you got mine. So we only had we had a bunch of us, but there was a small crew that we ran around with,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I trusted and I went and ate and hang out with. And me, I was the only one that had parents like that. All my other friends had parents that were like, had jobs.
Yeah, come in the house to eat at a certain time and shit like that, right?
Hey, my parents were like, who's that? Why they coming in here? They can't come in because they have drugs in the refrigerator. You open up the freezer, there's fucking PCP. You open up the like you walk in, you could just see like, oh shit, it just looks foul. It doesn't look right. So I was always a little ashamed and maybe like, and my mom and dad were always weary of like who I brought over because there was things being sold out of the house. So I couldn't just bring
traffic coming.
Oh God, you would see the neighborhood strawberry at my window, at my door. And then when I'm skating down the street with my friends, they're like going around these people that are homeless or whatever, and just at the liquor store, and they'll be like, "Hey, baby!" I'm like, "Oh, what's up?" Those are my dad's friends and my mom's friends, and my friends would be like, "Oh shit, how do you know?" Like they go to my house, bro. Like they go buy drugs, they go buy rocks, and or they, and so that's how. I got my dad. My dad showed me, like, instead of like being the father, like everyone else's father, who you try to teach your kid, my dad was showing me how to settle my shit with a knife, and I started off with a pencil in school. True story, man. I'm working on something right now, a passion project that my friend is really doing, but I'm like there because it's about me and my other friend growing up in the skateboard world. It is called Menace, and so Joey and me and another guy named Gene we're just talking about how my father was big influence in my life, probably the reason why he was setting me up and grooming me for prison, grooming me for the streets without me even knowing it, and just setting me up for a life of like of just going in and out of prison and running the streets, My father didn't really get his shit together until late, but better later than never, So,
right, exactly.
My mother and father are together right now still, and they live together, and they're they got my sister's kids, and they're all in Bell Gardens, and but I got taught to stab, rob, and use drugs before skateboarding.
Yeah.
So therefore, did skateboarding save you from going to prison? Like, did you still end up going?
Say what again?
You still ended up going to prison, even though you had skateboarding to focus on?
I had to come home, right? So skateboarding was I didn't know how to focus on skateboarding because I didn't have the support that I needed. Now looking back, I could say this, but back then I thought it was normal. It was good. But I didn't have the support I needed to to make it in life, because when you got people saying gimme, and and like they're not helping you because you're not saving money, you're not being productive with your money, and with your time. I was caught up in this whole mess. I could fast forward, bro, like in and out of all. I mean, let's just, you already know the basic shit, but my sister was violated by another man, homie, and instead of calling the cops, we took it upon ourselves, and I got the dude. I ended up going to prison for having the guy for a while, and I had him in the car, and I had him in his own car, and put him in the trunk and shit, and took him for a ride, and I thought he was dead, so I really thought that this guy was not gonna I would be wanted for murder. And I was like, man, my life I'm done. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I just know I need to get out of here. And then before I could even do that and go say bye to my mom, we all go back to mom. For some reason, we all go back home. And when I went back home, they were waiting for me. Helicopter.
Police were at your house?
The ghetto bird. We had about 7, 8 cop cars behind me. I was the only person I do everything by myself. I never had a crime. I've only had a crime in the beginning, and now me and him are doing good things for Echo Park. The area we once destroyed, we robbed and jacked and beat up. Now we're repairing it with, opening up a play where I just told you where kids are boxing right now. And we're doing a lot of good stuff. We do backpack giveaways. Yeah. So, but yeah.
How'd they know it was you? How did they know it was you to go back to your house?
The car, a Crown Victoria. I had a Crown Victoria that didn't belong to me, that was reported stolen. And that he didn't report to his wife. So his wife put him out as an APB. And his wife went and told the cops that he's involved in drug deals and drug sales. He might be hurt. He was a Central American, didn't have papers. So they protected him with amity, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, anonymity.
Yeah, whatever. We both can't say those type of words.
Yeah,
yeah. There's a reason for that, man. Hey, Staxx, I don't know what the fuck it is, but anyway. So they were waiting for me, man. Come back, and then they were actually just piling up behind me. Had a helicopter, and never made it to my mom's, but I made it to my mom's alley. And then they gave me the business right there.
Was he in the trunk still?
Nah, the dude who got dropped. I dropped his ass off out there in like near Harbor area, like San Pedro.
At least you didn't get caught with him in the trunk, right?
Well, shit, might as well have. I had his blood everywhere.
Man, so by this time you're already going to skate contests, right?
I'm a pro skateboarder at this time. I'm a professional skateboarder at this time. I'm well known in the skate community, and this is going down. I'm smoking crack. I'm doing that. I'm just like, I'm not thinking. I'm hanging out at what they call a trap house now. I call it a dope spot. That was always a dope house. The dope, let's go to the house. Let's go to the spot. We never called it a trap. I don't know, crack house maybe, but anyway, that's what it is. Yeah, we were.
So you're doing all that while you're professionally skateboarding. You got sponsors and things like that.
I have sponsors, and they were slowly but surely deteriorating on me because I wasn't providing Al. You got to provide footage. You got to you got to hold down footage. I was on one of the biggest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What happened?
You all have to stack the clips.
I
just keep stacking.
I was on one of the like best companies that I thought, it was pretty big. It was
companies in skateboarding.
It was Menace, City Stars. We started it was with Kareem Campbell. We had a good ensemble cast, bro. It was dope, and like it fit right in. We fit the name. It was the image. Everything was us. We started it, so that's what we wanted, and that's what was going. And success could kill you. Success could make you or break you. Man, I didn't know how to handle it. I was just like never had no money management. Never had no guidance. It was all spit your hand, you're in, shake hands, you're on, bro. Now that's it, you're in, homie.
You got all this money, you don't know what to do with it. You're like,
and it's your word. it's your word, because I don't remember there being big contracts. So it was like mostly your word, and that you're in, man. That's
Yeah,
it.
it was all in good faith on a
In
handshake.
good faith,
In good faith, man.
yeah.
A verbal agreement. Yeah. Not much
Man, I
ashamed.
shook hands. I didn't even sign nothing for DVS. DVS, I didn't sign nothing. So it was like, I don't know, man. It's weird. Now I think it's more corporate, more.
Oh, yeah.
You got to
Yeah,
sign.
now they're
Especially
gonna
now.
give you a pen and say sign on the dotted line. They don't want to
Fingerprint
get
right here, motherfucker.
Yeah. So what's it like to be sitting in a cell, being a pro skateboarder? Like, what are you thinking?
It's something that makes you get so like in. I never gave a shit about jail until I had something to lose. I had so much to lose. I knew I wasn't skateboarding no more, but still, like I thought, man, I'm all right. Like I wasn't gonna skate anyway. So in my head, I'm a Gemini, brother, and I
Me
whatever I
too,
do,
man. Maybe that's why we can't pronounce those words. I'm a Gemini too, man.
There's something about us that when we do something, we go all the way and we try to fucking like just perfect it and like get mad if you don't. And so I knew I wasn't gonna skate no more, and I knew I couldn't produce like the way I could in skateboarding because I was getting older. So when I went to prison, I thought, this is the beginning of something else. I don't know how much time I'm gonna be in here, because from what I know and from what I hear, I'm at a level 4. I landed in Salinas Valley right after the big Pelican Bay 12-minute riot that killed people. I landed there and it was still, the wave hadn't settled yet, and it was a war going on, and I landed there, and I didn't know nothing about the war. All I did was hear about it. I didn't have, so I walked into a war zone, if you could say, and it was on site. Anybody who got any kind of chance to hurt one another, it's going down. And so the mentality had to change, man. Like I wasn't feeling sorry for myself no more. Like, you're like, I was kicking myself so far up in the ass, like my foot got stuck, man. I'm like, man, I've been kicking myself in the ass so much because you're sitting in prison. I just lost my life. Like now I got to spend the next fucking 7 years, which I'll do 6. They sentenced me 7, but I'll do 6. But you got to expect you're going to get in trouble.
You don't
being
feel any
Latino.
hope because you're like,
Bro, you're
happen.
Latino. You're Latino in a California prison. I'm sorry, you're gonna get in trouble. You're Latino and you're active, and you're from a gang, and you're gonna go forward, and you're gonna represent, and the mentality. It's just like skateboarding. Oh well, shit, I'm gonna go full forward. I'm gonna start doing shit switch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going switch in prison. Fucking, I'm doing everything. I'm start fucking. I'm gonna build my body. I'm gonna build and I'm gonna become a machine. So I just knew that I had to I had to prepare for something different. I didn't want to do it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. In fact, like I did the bare minimum, bro, because in there shit is real. And like one little thing, one little slip off the tongue, one little mistake, or you forget, that could be your ass. So you learn to like speak carefully, move carefully, and have a lot of respect, and be very courteous to the next man next to you, and to any color man, to any race. I don't give a fuck who they are. You respect that man. You don't know who he's related to. You don't know who that he may look like a bum. You might call him that, whatever, but he may be the brother of somebody big and powerful, and have you taken away out of here in a helicopter, just airlifted or dead. So a lot of things to consider. You just go in there and you play your position, bro, and you just do it right, and you do what you do what you're told, but make sure you just
keep out of the way of everything going on.
Put your blinders on, Papa. Just put the tunnel vision.
Yeah.
That's all I could say. I ended up in a level 4 for they sentenced me 7 years. By the 4th year, 3rd year, I picked up time and ended up I made it 9. They put a child molester in my cell.
Oh man.
And he got the business. It's not good. Don't do that. You don't feed the shark when it's hungry. And they did that, and then they threw the whole thing on me, which is
Yeah, but if you didn't do anything to him,
Hold
the
on.
other inmates would have looked at you crazy,
I would
right?
have got and then I would have got the business.
Yeah, you can't let them slide in
I would
there.
have I would have been looked at as for like, they would have probably got me as a coward. And a coward and a snitch and all that is all in the same category. You know, it's a fine line in there, brother, and you gotta respect it. And it's not my house because I'm not living there for my rest of my life. These guys got life. I'm passing by with my 5, 9 years, whatever, 10. I'm passing by. These guys, that's their house. So you respect the house. And that's why when I go everywhere I go, if I'm getting invited, I like to talk to the people that run the business or own the house or just to show my respects. And like, hey, thank you for inviting me, and then I'll go mingle out and do my thing.
Yeah.
Say what's up to the man of the house, show respects to the lady of the house, and then you go about your business. Out here, but in there you got um they watch you, they're watching you, and then me, I went. This last one, you guys, this last one, and I told you, Al,
Yeah.
on this last trip, I went to prison, man. I went to San Quentin and Pelican Bay, a little bit popular, a little bit famous, and that's not good. That's not good at all. Um, Being like an actor or like a influencer and all that, they frown upon it, bro. They frown upon it, and so being that the only thing that saves me is who I am and what I've done in the past. If I had been a new booty actor coming there, influencer, whoo, you would have been reading about me on TMZ.
Why have
Would
you
have been
seen
bad.
other people with a certain level of status come in there, and what happens to them?
Yeah, they get the business, bro. If you can't hold your own, if you can't hold your own self, if you can't hold it down for yourself, and they see you as a ticket, like a money, they'll. It's like weird. The manipulation is so crazy. Like just like the streets. I've been homeless by choice, and my family was homeless at one time. We were all younger, but I chose to be on the streets because I wanted to be on the streets. I didn't want to be with my family. I thought it was better than staying at home, just living on the streets and being at my house to house to house. I didn't like what was going on in my family. So later in life, I would be addicted to drugs and smoking cocaine, and then I would be addicted and choose to be on the streets again, just because all the strife at home. So it's been a crazy time, but now I got these guys who try to tell me like I go into facilities now. I go to juvenile halls and prisons, and I pick up guys. I'm with this organization called ARC, Anti-Recidivism Coalition, and we do the Right Home program. The Right Home program is it's I think it's a crucial program for people coming out. It's very crucial to to how you want to live when you get out. Having someone like me come and pick you up, or one of our guys, and giving you the whole spiel about ARC is way better than being out on your own with your $200 gate money, and that's all you got. $200. Things are so expensive back then. I can imagine now it's just worse. So
Oh,
$200 is nothing, you guys. By the
yeah.
time you pay, you have to. The prison makes you pay for the ride. That's about $65. So now you're down. You're like, oh damn, shit just got real. I'm down to like less than 150. So
Yeah.
now you got 140 something, and you're
Wow.
running around, and then you pay for food, and like you want a pack of smokes, or you want to, or you whatever. By the time you get home, bro, you're down to like $80, maybe $110, and you're really like, if you don't got nothing lined,
Can't even
if you
get a
don't,
room or anything.
you can't get a room. You need a voucher, so you need to set. You need to. Some people don't know and don't think. They don't think ahead of time to like let your counselor know that you're homeless and you need to go out there and have some place to stay, or else you're gonna wind up back in here. So that's where ARC comes in. Inside facilities where ARC is at, if you join our organization, man, it's like it just helps you. I can't even say, like, I've been to prison 3 times. I spent a total of 16 years, 15 years in there, and I've never have I done a turnaround where I go in and come back. It's always been years,
Yeah.
and so this program has I broke my own record, bro. my program my record was 2.5 years. I stay out and I go right back. I've been out 3 years now, and I'm like 7 months past my mark, and I'm happy because it's the first time since 2010 I've done this. I've only been acting for about 5 years. The rest of from 2010 till now, I've been in prison. So from 2010 till now, minus 7 or 8 years, I've been locked up. That's how long I've been acting. And
Damn.
and it's a blessing,
It
bro.
seems longer acting, honestly, because you're so polished and it was like you're such a natural. It comes so naturally.
You want to know why? I've been acting in prison, Al. I've been acting like I wasn't scared. I've been acting like I was ready to do what I was told to do. And then convincing other people. You have to talk to people. These people are there all they do is just listen, and you're full of shit. If they smelling it, you're gonna get it. And then some people just don't even tell you. They'd be like, "Oh, hey, yeah, that was good." And then they're the ones that are gonna stab you later. All right, later, man. All right, take it
Or
easy,
they'll
homie.
tell on you. They'll be the ones to
Or
tell.
there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that too. It's like I feel like I've always, even when I was a kid, I wanted to be an actor. So I've always been like, you know, in my head. In my head, I've always done that. But never have I used it more than when I was in prison, just to convince guards to get what I needed and to do what I wanted to do, because it's a game in there, cat and mouse. So you got to play the game in order, and you have to convince them and let them believe that you're willing to cooperate when you're not. You understand?
Yeah.
It's all about manipulation and being like
That's what we say. Very manipulative.
and then working
Whether
off
it's
of
an
what you
extra
say.
tray or anything, right? Just to get
Extra
something
tray, just
extra.
to get an extra pair of socks is a
Yeah.
task. So boxers, all that shit. I mean, bro, you know that, like, it's crazy how the little things, just the little small things that we take for granted, but in there, it's a fucking huge mountain to climb, because it's just the way it is, man. And I don't like to take nothing for granted no more. I know I still have, like, times that, like, I need to sit back and be like grateful for things and people and where I'm at right now. But I've been shot at, I've been shot, stabbed, and fucking in prison riots. I've been in fights out here, knife fights. Me and my celly had a knife fight inside there. He
How'd that
stabbed.
happen? How'd the knife fight in prison?
I could give you the bare minimum, okay?
Yeah.
I'll give you the bare minimum what I could say and speak on it. But I'll tell you this. It's a small world. It's a very small world. Um, I believe in God. I'm a child of God, bro, and I've always prayed since I was a kid. And my I moved out of LA. Like, I moved, well, out of the heart of LA into the valley, San Fernando Valley, which I call the valley, which is a lot nicer, but it's still bad. Um, I thought when I moved there it would be like, oh shit, my prayers have been answered. I'm in the
Yeah.
valley.
I
Nothing's
made
gonna
I
happen to me.
made it now.
I
Yeah.
made it. So
Yeah.
it's like I moved in apartment number 2, and a year after I moved there, in apartment number 1 was some guys from another rival gang that don't like where my family's from. And but we were cool, but still, it's like I know how they get down, and they're a really big organization. So, and I want to say organization so you understand what I'm talking about. So when they moved there, I was just like, fuck. I offered them beer right away. I offered them food. I would barbecue on purpose and just offer them food just to make a warm welcome. I don't want my son and my girl in no bad, like, vibe with these people at
Yeah.
all.
It's your safe spot.
I needed to stay like that, and I was worried. So I said, I'm gonna barbecue. I had enough money. I would barbecue all the time and invite them for beers and smoke weed with them and just kind of just treat them cool. But I would go on tour. So Al, when you go on tour, you're going to. I would go to. I would go to Canada. We'd drive to Canada through Frisco. We're getting footage all along the way. I'm with Kareem. I'm with all the big guys. I'm with all the dude. I'm with these guys from 101 World. We're all together. 101 World Prime. What else? What other companies were with us, dude? Shit.
Well, I mean, it was Prime, Menace, obviously, World.
We had a shoe
That's when
company.
Rodney
was
was
action
the
shoes.
brand manager / TM, right? When Rodney.
Yeah. So
Rodney.
World Industries, it was like big, bro. Plan B sometimes will be with us. Plan B.
Yeah, I remember.
Dog, it was so big. It was so big. But we would go on these trips and we'd have a photographer from a magazine and videographer. We have all this shit. And you know, these guys, I'd be gone for 2 months, maybe a month at a time. And one time they threw a ball, like they were playing keep away with my son. And I found out, and like they threw a ball at his face. He had a cast on because my son had a little cast. He was 3 years old. He used to think he was a skater, a pro skater. He used to tell all his friends because I was a pro skater. So my son would be like, I'm a skater too. I'm a pro skater, you know, like. So I had a bunch, all the kids, I give away free shit. All the kids, even to this day, I swear on everything I love. And it's crazy. I'm saying that, I'm getting the chills, man. Some dude hit me up and said, man, I used to go to your house in Panorama City when you lived out there, and I used to get stuff. You used to give me free stuff. Now he's a grown-ass man, and he's like, dude, good to see you on Instagram, still doing good. So
it's the best feeling, isn't it? That you help somebody skateboard back home in
touchy, bro. It's like I love that
yeah.
shit, man. So I you know, I do a lot of stuff like that, and I've been like that since, because I've always had it pretty good. Skateboarding paved the way for me. Like skateboarding saved my life, bro.
You could be the person that gets the young kids started on skateboarding because he sees you doing it.
That's my goal. That's what I do. Yeah. I like to go talk and push the skateboarding line along with sobriety and just doing right, getting into film and stuff. You know, these are things that I did. I was in graffiti, all that, but like it all came back to skateboarding because that's how it started. And I found out about them throwing the ball at my son. He cried, and then when he you know, my son never cried, but they made my son cry, and he had one of those cries. You know those cries where you're like. He couldn't even talk. I know my kid. When I seen him, he's just like me. He'll cry and he'll be like, it hurts. Like that's the cry that I get from him. Like, Dad, it hurts. But this was like a hurt when you're hurt in your feelings. Like, like he was hurt by grown ass men. Yeah, he probably thought they were gangsters. They were gangsters. So they all looked like my family. And he probably felt comfortable throwing and playing with them, and they hurt his feelings by throwing the ball at his face and then him falling back. That didn't hurt him. What hurt him is when he fell, they were all like, ha, ha, pointing at him. So that hurt his feelings, and he told my girl. My girl hit me up on my 1-800 Sky Pager, because back then we had Sky Pagers. Remember those? And,
I remember that.
So here I get the call in a hotel in Germany, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I sent a couple of my cousins over there, and they go and they talk to her, and everything's cool and everything. But I'm coming home in like 2 weeks. So when I get back, I confront the guy.